it's that, but with an added element, which is interesting, of you being headless. You have to imagine yourself, like looking at yourself from afar, but you don't have a head. It's interesting.
The closer you get towards the goal that you're reaching for, the tighter in that diet becomes.
Yeah.
And then as you move past or away from that goal, you need to loosen up for mental health.
You do. Yeah. For mental health. That's a great point. And that is a great segue into our next topic, into our final topic.
How do we maintain our mental health with as little movement as possible?
Meditation. So meditation, this is interesting because this is a topic that I think that I love this topic, but I'm not even close to being considered somebody who is like an expert in meditation or have even done a ton of meditation. I've done some, and I've read like teeny tiny bit about it, but I love it though. I still I'm obsessed with the idea of meditation and what it means to me, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, how do you feel about meditation?
Yeah, so when you do a workout, what do you think about during the workout?
I love it. I love it because that was something I was going to get at as well. Sometimes when I'm working out, I'm not really thinking about much at all other than the workout itself.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I consider that to be a form of meditation.
Yep. So it has only become that way because we have practiced the same set of movements and our bodies know how to do them. And I have the exact same experience. So anytime I think that I'm not a good meditator, every time I work out, and I'll say 90%, I have absolutely nothing, no thoughts, just I'm like literally feeling my arms or feeling my legs or like feeling the weight in my hands, and it's just blank up there.
Yep, 100%. And that's why I think that's why I like, regardless of how crazy my day is or like how not good my body feels, I'm like, I got to go to the gym.
Yep.
Because of that. That's a meditation for me, And so I totally get it.
I wish I was skilled enough to create that sense of self, sitting, relaxing, just like even 30 seconds of silence. I'm not there yet.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So with mindfulness meditation, which from what I understand, there's a lot of different types of meditation, and mindfulness meditation is the one that I think I align with the most. And that's the only one that I would even claim to know anything about. And the whole concept of it is what you said about how you feel when you're working out. You're feeling your body in the moment. And so mindfulness is just bringing your attention to whatever's going on in that moment. And there's a great app. What is it called? It's not the popular one. It's not Headspace. It's
Insight Timer?
No. So the guy's name is Sam something. Sam. He's been on
Sam Harris?
Yes. Sam Harris has an app, and I think it's called Waking Up. Check that out. Tell me in a second. I'm sure it'll pop up.
Yep. Waking Up, Guided Meditation, and Mindfulness. That's also the name of his podcast.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So his app, the Waking Up app, I did it for like 40 days or something like that.
Nice.
And they're all short. They're like 10 minutes ish. Some are shorter, some are longer, but ish. And like he really explains the goals to you as you're going through it in a way that just made it seem super manageable and not intimidating. And like basically he keeps pointing to the idea of just being aware of whatever it is. So if your mind trails off on some random thought, you're thinking about work or you're thinking about school or your workout or whatever it is, like that's okay. He says, just be aware that you got distracted and then bring it back. And that doesn't mean you messed up at all. It just means be aware. That's it.
Have you ever played like there are third person video games?
Like, I don't know, probably.
So like first person is If I'm playing a video game, it's the
Oh yeah,
eyes of the
yeah. Where you
character.
see like the back of the person, you're like above
Right.
them.
So I imagine meditation as
That's
I'm looking at myself from over here,
yes.
and whatever happens here is fine, but as long as you can step back, it
Yep.
creates a new piece of you that you can get a good look at.
That is one of the exercises that he talks about. One of the mental exercises is it's that, but with an added element, which is interesting, of you being headless. You have to imagine yourself like looking at yourself from afar, but you don't have a head. It's interesting.
So like your head just picks up and goes over there.
I guess so. Yeah. I guess that's the whole point of it. I guess, but
That's pretty nifty.
it is pretty nifty, and you kind of feel like you're actually doing it, which is weird. But the whole point again, so is being aware. So it'll start off being aware of if you're laying down, being aware of how your back feels against the floor.
Hmm.
I would have my legs on the couch, so how that feels, how my head feels against the floor, where my arms are, how they feel, and then listening to your sounds that are around you and seeing if you can individually identify what each one of those sounds are.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like the refrigerator and the clock and a
That's a cool
bird.
drill.
Yeah. And like you hear a bird chirping and a car driving, like just identifying what makes up that soundscape and just being aware of it. And
I
you
like
realize,
having things to do. So for me, that kind of meditation sounds fun.
yeah, I like it a lot actually. Just that's what I do when I meditate. The first thing I'll do is try and figure out what the sounds are that I'm hearing because it gives me something to focus on.
Hmm.
And it's funny because you'll see like all of a sudden what sounds like a quiet room to you on any normal day
Hmm.
becomes really loud. It's
Yeah,
funny.
nice.
It's really funny.
So
So
my dad kind of gave me a like a schema that he used to use, and I use it sometimes when I have trouble falling asleep. So imagine the feeling of like you haven't been wearing a shirt for a while, maybe you're like a little sweaty, your body's just like a little heightened, and then you put on like a scratchy new t-shirt with a logo. You feel every inch of that shirt all over your skin.
yep.
A minute later, you can't feel it at all.
Yeah, it's funny,
So
right?
yeah, yeah, because it's prioritizing, right? You don't need to prioritize the feeling of your shirt on your skin.
Yeah, you
There's
can
more
get rid of
important.
that.
Yeah. So when I'm laying in bed and I can't sleep, I'll start at my feet and I'll try and feel that tactile sensation of the socks. Some people don't wear socks in bed. I wear them to sleep
That's
sometimes.
we got to talk about that. That's super weird.
Yeah, I knew that was coming, and I should have started with the ankles. Yeah, so then I'll feel the weight of the blanket. I'll feel the way, my dog sleeps on my bed. So, like, I can feel the contact or the warmth between her
Hmm.
body, the blanket, and my feet. And then I'll just, like, once I feel like I've got it all, I'll just move up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah,
Go to
exactly.
my shins, move up a little bit to my knees. And there's always something. And anytime I can't find something, I know I'm not going to be able to fall asleep.
Yeah. And that's one of the exercises that he takes you through in the app too.
I never ever have done it with my arms or my fingers because I always fall asleep.
That's awesome. That means it
Yeah.
works.
I've never been like, oh, what are my hands feeling? And now I want to just start over and start at my hands and go down someday.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So another thing of the whole like be aware of what you're feeling uh, thing that I took away from it, because it goes beyond like the physical, it goes also to like what are you feeling emotionally? Like, are you angry? Are you stressed out? Are you have anxiety about something?
Oh, we don't have to talk about this anymore.
Yeah, no, we don't need to talk about this. We're good, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that is something that I've found super helpful ever since like going through it was like anytime that I do either get impatient or angry or have anxiety about something, just like consciously saying, like in my brain, I'm saying like, okay, you're feeling angry right now. Why? Like just what is causing that? And then just asking that question immediately diffuses it at least a little
Mm,
bit.
nice.
It's hard to be super angry when you're thinking about why, when you're trying to be like objective and like dig into it intellectually. You're like, oh, well, okay. Take some of that energy away.
Yeah.